and welcome to PAC News. I'm Claire Kerr.
And I'm Lily Bordelon. Since the year began, water main breaks have become an all too familiar problem across New Orleans, with rising concerns about how the city plans to keep up.
There have been 5 different water main breaks uptown since the start of this year, and many people are wondering how these breaks will be fixed. Crews are finishing up work right now at Willow and Calhoun Streets, and that's where we'll find Nikolai Hielgau.
I'm here at Calhoun and Willow, where another water main break occurred just this past week. Behind me, you can see construction is still ongoing, with an excavator in place and a bulldozer. The team is actively working to uncover the manhole by digging up the surrounding concrete. Just this past week, the flooding here on this street was throughout the whole block. As you can see, it's filling up the whole street, and teams are working to fix what's going on. We also got the chance to speak to the executive director from the Sewage and Water Board. Here's what he had to say.
We're going to be open with what we're doing. We're going to be open with the timeline and what the projects are. And we just ask for your patience. This is an old system. We do not have the funds necessary to replace the entire system at one time.
And the price tag to fix all of these issues is upwards of $2 billion. Yes, you heard that right, upwards of $2 billion. That's it from me. Back to you, Claire and Lily.
Loyola University is no exception to the water main breaks and has been affected. Here's reporter Jake Weber with how the campus has dealt with this problem.
A broken water main left Loyola University students and faculty scrambling last month, forcing classes online and leaving the campus without safe tap water. Loyola student Boba Ross says the boil water advisory forced him to change his routine.
Because I couldn't just fill it up at any water fountain. I had to go buy water from the market or find some kind of filtered water somewhere.
Communications professor Jeffrey Ori also had to adapt quickly.
So we had to immediately turn around and turn everything virtual because we knew we couldn't come onto campus.
That water main break on February 23rd was the third of 5 that the city has experienced since January 31st. I asked Loyola's Director of Facilities, Kyle McGregor, about how the university deals with these challenges.
He says internal protocols include notifying the campus of the advisory and providing guidance on safe water use. Residential Life can also set up water distribution stations in Res Hall lobbies as needed.
Loyola encourages students living on campus to keep 2 weeks of bottled water on hand. If another break happens, you're going to want to be prepared. Jake Weber, PAC News.
Free speech. It's a right we're all guaranteed under the First Amendment, but on college campuses, the line between expression and restriction can sometimes feel unclear. At Loyola University, students and faculty are navigating what it really means to speak freely. Today we're taking a closer look at free speech on campus, who feels heard, who doesn't, and why it matters.
Hi, I'm Kennedy James reporting from Loyola University, New Orleans. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that affects every student on campus, free speech. How do students feel expressing their opinion, even when it's controversial? Let's go find out.
My name is Mia Chase. I'm a musical theater major, and free speech to me means the right to say what you think and say how you feel and express yourself the way that you define what your identity is.
Hi, my name is Mark Michelle. I'm a history senior and I am the current news consultant for the Maroon. I worked there for 3 years, and I think that my thoughts on the state of free speech on campus is that I think the Maroon does a good job at what we do. I think we do a good job at hearing student voices and displaying student voices.
My name is Aaron Johnson. I'm the Associate Director for Housing Operations here at Loyola. And to basically let them know that it's important that they share their opinion, their voice. That's how change happens. That's how it occurs. If you're quiet, then how are we supposed to know that change needs to happen? I just ask that students do it in a way that adheres to rules and policies. But other than that, speak up, make your voice heard, make it loud so that we hear it, and make it frequent.
Well, that concludes the conversation of free speech here at Loyola University in New Orleans. This is Kennedy James signing off for Wolfpack News.
This evening for Loyola's Media Week, we have Aaron Haynes, National Association of Black Journalists President, speaking more on why free speech matters in today's society.
Here is a live look at what's happening right outside of Loyola on this beautiful morning. You can see blue skies and plenty of sun over campus in Audubon Park, warming up from that cold front we've been having these past few days. Speaking of warming up, let's take a look at the upcoming weather for this weekend. It's going to be a sunny one with a high of 80 degrees finishing off on Sunday.
It's going to be a beautiful weekend, so how should you spend your time? There are a bunch of events going on around the city to check out. The New Orleans French Film Festival is going on all weekend at the Britannia Theater, and the same goes for NOMA's Art in Bloom Marsh Madness in City Park. The World Ballet Company is premiering Swan Lake at the Orpheum Theater tomorrow, so be sure to grab your tickets. And then on Sunday, the Metairie Irish Italian Parade will roll through Veterans. Make sure to secure a spot and catch some cabbages.
New Orleans is taking a creative approach to restoring Louisiana's wetlands using recycled glass. I took a closer look at how the non-for-profit Glass Half Full is reshaping sustainability in the city.
New Orleans is a city filled with culture, life, and definitely some partying. But what happens to all that trash that comes from the partying? Do people recycle it?
I do. I actually live in Brooklyn, New York, so it's mandatory.
I do, because I've always done it, and it's just something I'm used to.
I don't recycle my glass right now, which I used to have a separating all the materials out system set up, but then I learned or was told that the city never got the recycling system together.
I do not. I don't have a recycling bin at my house.
What actually happens to that glass? The teams at Glass Roots and Glass Half Full are trying to give it a new life.
I've always had the mindset of leaving things better than I found it and transparency when it comes to recycling, and so this is the most honest and transparent company that I knew to work for.
We run free recycling drop-offs in New Orleans. We work mostly with libraries and other nonprofit organizations to install drop-offs so people can come bring their glass. We do the glass drop-offs. Those get brought, picked up by Glass Half Full, which is our partner organization. They recycle it themselves. So there's a facility in Chalmette where they crush the glass. That gets turned into sand and gravel. Most of that sand is used for coastal restoration. Then the rest of that glass gets used, so we use it for flood relief bags during like hurricane season, so people can pick up bags for flooding. We reached like millions of pounds a couple years ago in terms of glass recycle.
In New Orleans, even glass is getting a second life. This has been Claire Kerr, PAC News.
Glass Half Full is proving that sustainability in New Orleans can start with something as simple as an empty bottle.
For the first time, Loyola and Tulane joined forces for a combined spring career fair. Reporter Chris Nesbitt has more on what happened and what the Career Development Center has planned for the rest of the semester.
This is Chris Nesbitt at Tulane's LBC, and we are currently at the Tulane Loyola Career Fair, where there are over 50 employers here to talk to students. Let's talk to some of these employers and students.
About a year and a half ago, I reached out to Tulane's Career Development Center to ask if they would be interested in collaborating on a spring career fair. And they were down to collaborate. And so this was the first year we were able to join forces and bring a really awesome career event together.
I frequently table at Loyola, and I also do the Tulane Job Fair. So when I heard they were coming together by my contacts at the Loyola Career Center, I knew I had to come.
I'm a senior, and so I'm hoping to keep learning and keep growing. I'm just hoping to connect with people like in the city to continue my career.
We have several more programs coming up throughout the rest of the spring semester. We've got a couple networking nights that we're doing with our Young Alumni Board, and then students can come and chat with their career coach throughout the year and even over the summer. We have walk-in hours every day from 3 to 4. We table once a week. We're out in the Peace Quad. I think sometimes students think that they have to have everything put together before they come to a career fair, and that's just really not the case. Like, being curious is honestly just enough, and like showing up ready to ask questions and ready to make connections is just really a great step for preparing for someone's future.
Keep up to date with Loyola's Career Center to hear about more events happening this semester. This is Chris Nesbitt, PAC News.
Students looking to connect with the Career Development Center can schedule appointments through Handshake or stop by during walk-in hours Wednesdays from 3 to 4 p.m.
Screen time affects us all as we spend more and more time on our devices for various reasons. But is this bad for us? Reporter Ella Bozeman set out to find out how much screen time is too much.
A recent study shows that Gen Z is cutting back on screen time more than any other generation. Does this shock you? Because it sure shocks me. I'm Ella Bozeman, and today I'll be asking students how much time they think they spend on their phones. Hey, how much time do you think you spend on your phone?
5 hours.
Okay, let's see the screen time.
Okay.
Okay, what does it say?
6 hours and 23 minutes daily average.
How does that make you feel?
That I shouldn't be on my phone as much.
How much time do you think you spend on your phone?
Probably about 7 hours.
Let's get the screen time.
8.5 hours. I read a lot on my phone.
You read a lot. Okay, so it's productive.
For the most part.
And how much time do you think you spend on your phone?
2 hours a day?
Let's get the screen time.
3 hours and 38 minutes.
A new study from Talker Research found that 63% of Gen Z intentionally disconnect from their devices. This is the highest rate of any generation surveyed. The reason behind this is most likely due to the emotional disconnect most people feel when isolated alone on their devices. From this research, it's obvious Gen Z is still addicted to their phones like any and every other generation, as the screen time didn't lie. Yet, it seems most people are beginning to disconnect from technology as it often brings them emotional stress. No one's perfect, and technology as a whole is helping us move towards the future, but we definitely can all take some time away from our screens. I'm Ella Bozeman with PAC News.
So what are people doing when not on their screens? Talker Research says they choose face-to-face conversations, outdoor activities, hands-on hobbies, and reading.
The Louisiana Humane Society is frustrated by Mayor Helena Moreno's silence over the group's calls for aid. I got the chance to get an explanation on why we are seeing more stray animals on the streets of New Orleans. Recent city budget cuts have affected Louisiana's SPCA, and now the group is unable to provide a number of at-home services for pets. As a result, the number of strays on the streets has increased significantly, according to Humane Society Director Jeff Dorson.
The interest in adoptions is way down, so they dump them in the woods and on the side of the street. It's heartbreaking.
Pearl and Sandy are two dogs housed at Zeus's Rescue on Ferret who were found wandering around Leonidas and Claiborne in a situation matching Dorson's concerns.
Somebody was driving and they saw them just running around and stuff, so they stopped, pulled over, grabbed the dogs, put them in the car, called me, and said, can I bring them over? And I was like, we can scan for a chip, but we can't keep them because we don't really have space. So they did that, and then my director happened to be here, and she was like, oh, we'll just take them, we'll make room, it's fine.
Without the SPCA, the Humane Society has little to no authority on manpower to get these animals off the streets themselves. As a result, the risk of attacks by stray animals could rise. Dorson says there are about 10 groups in town that are focused on animal rescues, and he wants the city to bring them together.
Our suggestion is the mayor should call an official meeting, invite them all in, and let us have a frank, candid discussion that we're in crisis and we're pretending that it's not a crisis.
Dorson says he will be attending a meeting with Moreno after receiving an invite from a third party. He hopes to answer the pressing question, how big of a priority is animal welfare for the city? This is Lily Bordelon, Wolfpack News. We reached out to Moreno's press secretary about the matter and have yet to receive a response.
As Ramadan comes to a close, let's take you inside to a vibrant bazaar.
You won't want to miss it. Stay with us after we come back from the break.
The French Quarter is world famous for its jazz and vibrant crowds, but tucked away among its historic streets is a shop with a story that spans 4 decades.
Yes, today PAC News reporter Jisoo Choi introduces us to a man who transformed a single storefront into a lifelong legacy and a place to truly call home.
Hello, this is Jisoo Choi from PAC News. When we walk through the French Quarter, we see hundreds of glittering souvenirs. But behind the glass cases of one local shop lies a 40 years journey of grit and transformation. Today, I'm introducing you a man who started with the one small store in 1987 and built a legacy proving that home isn't just where you're born, it's where you choose to stay.
이 가게 여기에서는 내가 1987년도에 시작을 여기에 이제 쇼핑몰에 이게 이제 시작을 해서 가게를 애시당 쪽은 한 개를 시작했죠. 가게 한 개를 시작해가지고 가게를 사업이 번성이 돼가지고 이렇게 한 개, 두 개 늘리고 세 개 늘리고 네 개 늘리고 해가지고 가게가 무려 14개. 고향이 물론 그립지만 외국에 놓은 이상 그 향수를 가지면은 안 된다고. 왜? 그 향수를 가지면은 향수에 가진 만큼 자기 짐이 무거워지는 거예요. 그 짐이 무거워지고 그 짐으로 인해서 그 향수병에 걸린 사람이 외국에서 놓아가지고 다시 한국을 들어가는 경우가 많은데 그것을 정리하기위해서 넘어가야 되는 오버를 해야지 좀 생각을 좀 더 바꿔야지 바꾸지 않으면은 외국에 살 수 없어요. 당연히 미국 시민권자이기 때문에 나는 미국이라고 당연히 미국이지. 왜냐면은 한국에 서울에도 집이 있고 하지만 그래서 나는 한국에서 사는 것 자체는 물론 아기자기하고 다 좋은데 나는 시민권자로서의 미국 사람이야. 미국에서 계속 살 거냐고 물어볼 때 당연하지 미국에 살지. 산다는 것은 이미 내 죽을 때까지는 나는 눌려서 살 거예요.
For Mr. John, nostalgia is the burden he chooses not to carry. Instead, he carries the pride of the New Orleanian and a voter who shaped this city history. His story reminds us that the American dream isn't just about businesses. It's about finding a place to call home until the very end. Reporting for PAC News, I'm Jis Choi. Thank you.
A powerful look at what it means to find your place in the new city. It's inspiring to see how he has helped shape the heart of the quarter we know today. Thank you for that report, Jisoo.
As the month of Ramadan comes to an end, communities across the city are finding ways to celebrate together. In New Orleans, one local bazaar is doing just that, offering a space to experience the culture, from the food to the atmosphere.
After the sun sets and Tarawih, also known as a nightly congregational prayer, comes to an end each Saturday during Ramadan, the Ramadan Bazaar begins. From 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., families, friends, and local vendors gather for more than just food. They gather for connection, celebrating culture, tradition, and community.
I've been here since the 11th of January, and I'm a new student at UNO. So it made me feel like at home because I miss the Moroccan vibe. I'm Moroccan. So here I feel the Muslim community and the Arab vibe, and I craved that from a long time.
Henna artists create detailed designs, a tradition closely tied with celebration and culture.
We're super excited to display our business today, and all the money that we're making here, majority of it is going towards the Palestine movement as well as all other charities. So we're just really excited to be here today.
Shoppers browse traditional clothing like abayas alongside handmade crafts, perfume scents, and Islamic paintings.
I have so many different scents on me right now. I smell like everything. I'm in line to get some henna.
The bazaar is open to everyone, bringing together vendors from across the community, many of them family-run, with even kids helping out at the stands, from street food favorites to freshly made Ramadan treats. And sometimes the bazaar surprises visitors with the unexpected, like vendors selling baby chicks. This is Ganna Muhammad with PAC News.
Moments like this show the impact of people coming together to uplift and support one another. Thank you, Ghana.
Café con Inglés is a program focused on helping Spanish speakers strengthen their English. Kiara Rietti tells us how it brings Loyola students into the Hispanic community.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Liz.
Okay, so why did you decide to volunteer for Café con Inglés? I come from an immigrant family, so with all the ICE situation going on, I took a big interest in it because I feel like I can do something to help others, especially people who are struggling to speak English.
Your name?
My name is Sue Weischer.
What's your position with Café with Inglés?
I'm the coordinator.
Okay. What inspired you to start Café with Inglés?
Well, I just took a position at Loyola University in August 2010 as the migration specialist for the Jesuit Social Research Institute. And so obviously I was going to be working on immigration issues, and I really felt the need to be, close to immigrants. So I joined this church because I knew they had a large Spanish Mass, started going to Spanish Mass. Lovely, but I wasn't meeting anybody. So then I asked the pastor, I go, I really like teaching ESL. I wonder if we could have an ESL program right after Spanish Mass, make it really convenient for people. And he loved the idea, and he came up, and we'll serve refreshments, wear name tags, everyone will get to know each other, and he came up with the idea, let's call it Café con Inglés. Had the program since April 2011.
Oh, a long time.
Yeah.
What do you hope students take away from these classes?
That not all Americans are what they might see on Fox News. that they get to know Americans as people, and as good people, and as kind and patient people, and that, of course, they learn English. Yeah. The lives of immigrants, what they're experiencing, what their challenges are, what their hopes and dreams, and also that they get to experience what a parish life can be. A sense of community, a sense of belonging, and so those are the things I hope people are getting.
Well, thank you, Susan. That was amazing.
That was Café con Inglés, highlighting just one of the many things that Loyola has to offer.
From early mornings in the classroom to late nights, student athletes are putting in the work on and off the court.
We'll show you how they're handling the pressure and setting a standard when we come back from the break.
My name is Claire Anderson. I graduated from Loyola in 2021, and I currently work at a Beta Brewing company as their digital marketing specialist. The Donnelly Center was the best experience I had at Loyola, constantly learning, constantly growing, having new clients every year, past clients, forming those relationships. You're actually working with real people with real needs and an actual goal that they're working towards. You gain from the classes, but you utilize it, and the Donnelly Center has really benefited me in the long run. At my time at the Donnelly Center, it gave me real-world experience working with real clients, with real people, on real projects, and it is why I have the career today, and I'm incredibly thankful, and I'm looking forward to another 25 years of all its success and the success stories that come out of the people that work here, and I'm very thankful to be a part of it.
Student athletes don't just get the luxury of choosing one, they master both.
PAC News reporter Aniston Murray shows us how they are taking on double the duties and raising the standard.
Going behind the scenes.
It's not just practice. You have to balance everything.
We put a lot of ownership on our head coaches or just all the coaching staff in general for each sport to really instill a mindset that they are students first. One of the things that we do is pursue excellence in the classroom, not just on the court, on the field, whatever the competition space is.
I find time in between classes and before and after practice to study and to do all my assignments. Time management is really important. If we have like a competition and we're traveling for it, I'll set aside time earlier in the week.
It's definitely hard because we obviously have to miss class for games and stuff, but we have long bus rides, and it's helpful when you have your teammates who are also missing the same classes as you to combine with them during study hall hours and talk to them about your classes.
When we're on the road, I take my computer on the bus and we do the homework on the bus ride up there.
The hardest part about being a student and an athlete is juggling all the schoolwork while traveling, being far and away from school for so many days.
Speaking from experience, I was a student athlete myself, and it always definitely adds some level of stress. But I think that's one of the great things about being a student athlete, they're learning all these wonderful life skills that will translate immediately into the real world and into adult life.
To me, being a student athlete teaches me discipline. Even though our routines are only around 2 minutes long, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it.
For Loyola athletes, success isn't just about winning. It's about balancing it all. This is Anna Stamari with PAC News.
And we want to wish good luck to our track and field athletes, men's and women's tennis, and baseball as they compete. And a special shout out to our dance team as they take on the NAIA Nationals floor. That's our news for now.
Thanks for watching.